What does she know? He asked himself. What does she know that we don't? Across the moors, the old farmhouse where Lancelot and Guinevere once lived lay dormant and overgrown. Sheep, cows, and horses grazed unbounded on the hills. It's like we never left, Agatha sighed. For a brief moment, Tedros wished that he and Agatha could hide here, like his mother and her true love once had. Past is present, and present is past, he thought. Tedros! He looked at his princess. She squeezed his hand. There would be no hiding today. The grave lay in shadow, shattered by a small oak grave. A shining glass cross grows out of the ground between two trees, marking King Arthur's tomb. Garlands of white roses draped the cross, along with glowing five-pointed stars resting against the base. There were more of these stars strewn nearby, ashy and burnt out, as if Merlin returned to lay a new one whenever the old had gone cold. But there was a second grave now. Tedros realized it, only a short distance from his father's, deeper in the shadows. A grave he hadn't seen before, marked with a second glass cross. Chadwick, said Agatha quietly. This is where the lady buried him. Tedros nodded. It's where he belongs. His knight, his friend, valiant and true. He shouldn't be here at all, Tedros wanted to say. Chadwick was too young, too good to die. He never should have tried to take on the snake. He never should have tried to do a king's work. Tedros swallowed the knots in his throat. Work still left to be done. His eyes roved back to his father's plot. Merlin enchanted the tomb to preserve him, he said. Whatever he finds, there will be hazards and curses to break through. A test I have to pass. His voice thinned, his palms sweating. But first, we have to take him up. He raised his finger close to his dad's grave, his heart jittery, his stomach lurching. His fingers started to shake, his gold glow unsteady. Agatha stepped in front of him, her own gold glow lit. Look away, she said. She began burning through the dirt. Tedros kept his eyes on the glass cross at the head of the grave, reflecting Agatha's calm face as she worked. At the base of the cross, Merlin's glowing white star mirrored Tedros' flickering shadow, his square jaw and sweep of curse. He was thankful for his princess, thankful it was just him and Agatha that had made it this far. As much as he loved his mother, his father wouldn't have wanted her here. He broke out of his thoughts. Merlin's white star, his shadow in it. It was still moving. Only he wasn't. He glanced back at Agatha, her glow burning away more and more earth. They must have buried the coffin deep, Agatha murmured, tense with concentration. Tedros turned back to the star and leaned closer, the shadow inside receding from him, as if to lead him somewhere. This doesn't make sense, Agatha's voice waxed. The prince reached for the star. His fingers brushed the warm white surface and sank right through. Tedros, the grave is empty. There's nothing here. By the time Agatha turned to her prince, he was halfway in. She lunged in horror, grasping her hand for him, but all she found was a cold star, the light snuffled out like a sun fallen into a sea. Tetros tasted clouds in his mouth, bitter soft, dissolving like spun sugar, with the sweet tang of blueberry cream. He lifted his eyes to see a silvery five-pointed star shoot past him across a purple night sky, lit by 1,000 more of these stars. The air was toasty and thick, the silence of the Cerulean so fast that he could hear the drum of his own heart, like it was the beat of the universe. I was still of moment, then an intake of breath. Tetros grew very still. Someone else was on the cloud. He looked it up. King Arthur sat on the edge of the cloud in his royal robes, his hair thick and gold, his beard flecked with grey, a lion locket sparkling around his neck. "Hello, son," said his father. Tetros was ghost white. "Dad?" "Merlin kept this place a secret from me when I was king," said his father, gazing up at the sky. "I understand why now. This is impossible." Tetros reached out a shaking hand towards the king. "This isn't real. This can't be real." His palm touched his father's face, quivering against Arthur's soft beard. The king smiled and pressed his son's hand into his. Tetros stiffened. "But you're supposed to be..." "Here, with you, just as you need me to be," said his father, his voice soothing and deep. "In the way I wish I had been for all the days I had with you, up to the very last. Our story didn't have the ending we wanted." Gently, he brushed the Tetros hair out of his face. "But I knew long ago that there might come a time when you needed me, a time beyond the present and your memories of our past. Yet, how can a father see his son beyond the rules of time? That's where it helps to have a wizard as your dearest friend." "So you're a ghost?" Tetros asked. "When most kings die, they embalm their body to preserve it," King Arthur replied. "But no one can truly preserve a body against time. In the end, all graves are raided or neglected or forgotten. It is the nature of things. Leave it to Merlin, then, to suggest getting rid of my body entirely. To preserve the soul instead. This way you could